Emmanuel Macron announcing that France will provide 100 million euros. The French president said that he'll also be contributing to equipping the Lebanese army to reestablish control of the south in line with a UN Security Council resolution. Now, on top of that French pledge, there were pledges from the US, the UK, Italy, and Germany. That goal of 500 million euros far surpassed, reaching nearly 2 billion euros if you include contributions that were announced prior to Friday. Well, for more, we're going to cross to France 24's international affairs editor, Kethevane Gorjestani, who's standing by then on site at that aid conference here in Paris. Hi, Kethevane. So what are the main takeaways then from this conference thus far? Kethevane, if you can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Sorry about that.
Hi, Kethevane. No worries. So I was just asking, what do you think are the main takeaways, at least thus far, from this conference for aid for Lebanon?
Well, of course, raising all that money was one of the main goals, and they knew that this would be the goal that would be the most achievable. This would be the concrete victory of this conference. And as you said, a lot of money has been pledged. In total, the French foreign minister announced that they had raised or had pledges for more than $1 billion. So this breaks down into more than $800 million when it comes to humanitarian aid. Of course, the French were the first to pledge that 100 million euros. That's about $108 million. And you had, of course, the Italians and the Germans who had also pledged some money, but they reached $800 million for humanitarian aid. The call from the United Nations earlier this month was for at least 426 million. So we have almost doubled from that call by the United Nations. And then there was an extra $200 million for the Lebanese armed forces. This was also something that was a goal. They were talking about supporting the sovereignty of Lebanon and wanting to help those Lebanese armed forces, believing that they are the key to having some sort of stability in the country. And so there is $200 million for support for those Lebanese armed forces. And on top of the monetary support, there will be some logistical and some training support that several countries will contribute to. The French foreign minister especially thanking countries like the UK, like Italy, as well as Qatar for that. So on the pledging front, that was a real success. But of course, there was one major other goal, the calls that we heard in the opening remarks from the French president or from the Lebanese prime minister, which was a call for the ceasefire, because they all know that all of these pledges, the humanitarian aid, the support for the Lebanese armed forces amount to not much if there is no ceasefire on the ground, and they cannot go back to the UN resolution 1701 and bring some sort of peace and stability, especially at the border between Israel and Lebanon.
Indeed, Kethevane Gorjestani, we're going to turn now to the situation on the ground. Thank you very much for the roundup of those announcements.